Josh and I were listening outside the drumming rooms at McGill at the music school because we were looking for a drummer, and that didn't really work. So we went down to the cafeteria to get some lunch, and Regine was sitting in there.
I was doing nothing that I should be doing. I had like 6 million things to do, and I decided to do none and just sit at the cafeteria and stare at nothing. And then I saw someone that I didn't know, because the program is pretty small, the faculty is small, so you know when people are not, and I was like, who's that guy?
I just moved to town, and so I was pretty outgoing out of desperation. I just kind of started up a conversation with her about music, and we were looking for a drummer.
And then I said, oh yeah, what do you play? And he said, oh, I play a little bit of piano, a little bit of guitar. I was like, oh, everyone plays a little bit of piano, a little bit of guitar.
But a few days later, I was at Concordia at the art school, and she was singing jazz at an art exhibition. And I saw her singing with a piano player, and I thought it was really awesome. And I kind of connected. I just saw her again. I was like, I'm going to call you. We have to play. And so a couple of days later, we played together for the first time.
I mean, like early shows in 2004, it'd be 7 of us on stage and 4 people in the audience in Rhode Island, and you just play exactly as loud and as hard as you would in a show for 25 people, which was the biggest we would be playing for at that time. But just always, you know, facing forward.
We're the Arcade Fire. We all live in Montreal. My name's Win.
I'm Richie. I'm Howard. I'm Tim.
Wait, here we go now.
Tim.
It is my great pleasure to welcome 4 members of the Arcade Fire: Richard, Win, Regine, and Tim. Thank you very much for being on the show. Appreciate it. No problem. Very much. You guys are the next big thing, I'm told, and the flavor of the month by I think were your words. What's it like? I mean,
yummy, delicious.
What is that experience? I mean, to be this you know, I guess hyped.
The experience is everybody asking us what it's like to be this.
Oh man, I thought
I think it's more exciting for the people than for us, really. Like we don't really like.
Yeah, but honestly, most of it is like, how's it like to have buzz? That is the buzz. This is our debut full-length record, and we recorded it at Howard's studio in Montreal. It's called Hotel to Tango, and mostly over this last winter.
Performing live on North American television for the first time. Give it up for the best darn 37 member rock band in the world. Give it up for the Arcade Fire.
first started playing in small clubs, and I kind of remember, like, you know, the first time we played at Sala Rosa, and there was like a line of people out the door, and that was like, whoa, people are coming to see us, and everything else has felt like some similar version of that same feeling. You know, it's like no matter what for me, it's like no matter what the scale is, it's like, oh, there's people here to see us, and then you kind of get used to it, and then it's like, oh, you know, we have a #2 record or whatever. It's like, that's pretty damn surprising, you know, like for a band as weird as us, and then you kind of get used to it. But it's a similar emotion for me. It's like kind of like
you don't get used to it, you just forget. I don't know, I just don't think about it, and then you're like, oh yeah, like we sold how many tickets? I'm like, whoa.
Well, I think for me, it's like as soon as you get used to it, then it's time to stop the tour. You know? Like I definitely remember a couple shows being on the phone up until like the minute we're playing, and then you just walk out. It's like, oh, okay.
Tour's over.
Hey, 10,000 people, whatever. And it's like, oh, that's a bad attitude.
That's a bad attitude. I can't believe you just
But that's when the tour ends. You're just like, oh, we have to go home right now, like, because that's not the way it should be. Because
it's not. It's never been like that.
It's never been like that.
You can go home if that's how you feel. You can go home. We're a very passionate band, and we always
this is not how
at our best.
Here then is the first of tonight's 2 exclusive acoustic performances, especially recorded for this Culture Show session. Filmed in the foyer of London's Brixton Academy, it's the title track from their new album, Neon Bible.
Hope and a vial of pain. In the light they both look the same. Poured them out on into the world. On every boy and every girl. Listen, neon Bible, neon Bible. Not much chance for survival if the neon Bible is right. Take the poison over your age. Don't lick your fingers when you turn the page.
What I know is what you know is right. In the city it's the only light. It's the
neon Bible, the neon Bible. Not much chance for survival. The neon Bible is right. Oh God, take a look at you now. You're so lost, but you don't know how. Our lives are close. Oh God, I had a laugh.
Take the poison of your rage. Make your fingers when you turn the page. It was wrong, but you said it was right. In the future, I'll read it nice and
Regine, the daughter of Haitian immigrants, was a musical prodigy.
I didn't have a lot of access to music, so when I heard something, I would just kind of listen to it like it was gonna go away because it was, and I was never gonna hear it again. So I just learned to remember everything.
Were you able to do that?
Yes.
Wow.
She can play pretty much anything she's ever heard.
Really?
Yeah.
And she did throughout our interview.
Are you just hearing music in your head all the time?
Kind of. Maybe it's not normal, but I hear so much music in my head sometimes so clearly that it might as well be real.
During the recording of their second album, Neon Bible, she remembers.
I woke up with a crazy headache. So my head was like about to explode, and I tried to remember what was I dreaming about, and I realized I was playing Black Mirror backwards in my head with the melody backwards and the beat, and I was trying to make it work.
That is pretty scary, though, to wake up hearing a song backwards in your head.
It took so much brain power to do this. It's like my head was heating up, you know, like the computer was like, why am I doing this? Because I wanted to make sure that I knew it like backwards and forwards, so I had to play it backwards.
welcome back. It's fantastic to have you back. It's one of your first gigs ahead of the brand new album. How are you feeling about playing one of your first gigs?
We're excited. You know, one of the things in being it being our third record is we can't really pretend that no one's ever heard of us before. You know, our first record was such a slow, crazy slow build, and so it takes a little bit of getting used to knowing that the first warm-up show you ever play will be everywhere on the internet, and you kind of have to grow up in public in a lot of ways. But it really feels like we're at the point in this tour now where we're playing really great, and the new songs really feel really vital, and so yeah, it's an exciting time to be in the band.
Maple74 asks, what was the inspiration for the vintage cover art on the album?
Old times. Good old times.
It wasn't vintage, we just made it.
Yeah, it just looks old. It's not vintage at all.
Yeah, I would say it wasn't inspired.
And the Grammy goes to The Suburbs, Arcade Fire.
What the hell? Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you, merci to Montreal, Quebec, for taking us and giving us a home, place to be in a band. Thank you to all our family. Holy shit, Scott, I can't believe it. We just won.
Merci Montréal, merci à tout le monde au Québec.
Thank you. We're going to go play another song because we like music. So thank you to the Grammys. Thank you, everyone. We're so happy.
All right, and now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to introduce our favorite band with that sound we all really seem to enjoy, Arcade Fire.
To have someone that was not in the band be someone who could be in our band if he had happened to have been in our band was really great. He would just like get excited and be like, that, like who did that? Right, do that there, do it louder. Yeah, like great. And you'd have been like futzing around with the part and be like, I should maybe do this here, and he'd just be stoked. And that was amazing to have someone just be like, stoked, do that. I'm stoked when you do that. You're like, great, someone else is stoked when I do that. That's all I need to hear.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, everybody.
Oh, hey, guys.
My name is Captain Bill. And I'm Captain Zach. And we're coming to you live from outer space in zero gravity. Yeah. Space is very fun.
I didn't think this was gonna work.
We're kissing the stars and we're listening to some hot tunes coming from Montreal, Canada.
Can you hear that from space?
You guys are probably great, but the connection is kind of lousy.
The music in here sounds bad. I'm sure there it sounds good, but it sounds really terrible in here for some reason.
That's cool. Well, just come back safe to us. We want to see another Hangover movie.
Yeah. We need another Arcade Fire album, too. Yeah, while you're at it. You know, I went to one of your first shows. There were more people on stage than there were in the audience.
Yeah.
You don't need 3 drummers.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I shouldn't have eaten all them cheese poofs.
You like to push people, obviously, with your music. You've influenced a lot of people, but also the audience. Like you've insisted that people come dressed up.
Even if you don't feel like dressing up, which is super fine, you're not bummed that like someone's wearing like an awesome, like that there's a beautiful girl like wearing a glittery dress next to you. You're not like, oh, what a bummer.
Ruined my evening.
This ruined my evening. Like it was all going good, and then this guy dressed as a Ninja Turtle next to me kind of ruined my night. Like you can't kind of help but smile. It's just. It's not like us dictating to our fans. It's more of like a communal thing.
So you got a bit of flack for that, for being, I don't know, a bit bossy or presumptuous, but people are actually doing it, right?
We didn't get flack from anyone who was planning on coming to the show. You know, I think it's part of the internet age to kind of quibble over stuff, and then 3 or 4 or 5 people kind of, it makes it seem like it's a bigger deal than it is, because the atmosphere of the shows has been some of the best we've ever played. You know, it's like, like these arena shows have been kind of as intimate as a lot of club shows you've done, and just as fun, and we're able to kind of be in the crowd for some of the opening acts and dancing like in the crowd, because you can wear a mask, so you can kind of be hanging out with the audience, and so in a way it feels like we were closer to our audience than we have been before.
Alright, hey, what's up? So I decided that this needs to be done in the correct way, because it's not a thematic review of this kind of music if it's not done in style, in the correct style. So, I got my shirt ready. It's not hipster anymore, but we'll fix that. We're going to pop the collar. Alright, so now, next thing I need a scarf. We're going for a scarf. Alright, got my scarf. I need my ironic glasses that I don't need to see at all. This actually will make it so I can't see a bit. And then my ridiculous haircut that doesn't match anything. I think I'm finally ready to review Arcade Fire's new album.
You know, I used to really like Arcade Fire, one of my favorite bands of, I guess, 6-7 years ago. And with every new record, I like them less and less. And the weird thing is, I still like the music, more or less, but the sound of their record sucks. It's just really, really unpleasant sounding, and I don't want to sound like an old guy. I am an old guy. But the thing is, these records sound awful. They sound like they were mixed by a deaf person. It's just distortion, just this awful digital, non-musical distortion.
This album, by the way, gets stuck in your head so much. I've been listening to it for like 2 weeks, and literally it just goes round and around and around in your head, all these different songs.
Suburbs is the best Arcade Fire album, and Funeral is the worst. This is just how it is.
Their 2004 debut release, Funeral, is seen as, in my view at least, as a masterpiece, and I know that there's a lot of fans out there that would agree with me on that statement.
Arcade Fire is a band from Montreal, Canada. A great band.
Arcade Fire, they're one of my favorite bands of all time. They have fallen off quite significantly over the past couple of years, but their first 3 albums are all incredible to me. They're some of my favorites of all time, and they're all really important to me and my love of music.
Man, Arcade Fire may be one of the greatest bands of all time. And it's so sad that they've only recorded 4 albums. Who knows if they'll record more or not. Remember to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, share with your friends, and comment if you think Arcade Fire should make a 5th album. Leave your answers in the comments below.